island of paradise, situated 15 miles from Urangan. And of course, Urangan is that very popular seaside resort for Maryborough. We take you on a trip now to this our wonderful island. Goodness me, did I forget anything? Oh no, she's right. Yes, we're loading up our vehicle. Even the school kiddies stopped to see us pack for our trip, which will take us 15 miles across Herbie Bay to Fraser Island. Oh, I'm sure you're living at Urangan. From our loading point, we start to take all our equipment down to our dinghy. Just have a look at the equipment which we will require for 1 week on this magnificent island. Come on, Mum. Yes, many hands will make light work here. There is our equipment. And having loaded it safely into our dinghy, we start to row towards our own motor launch. As you'll notice, our dinghy is rather loaded. Why, it's almost right down to the gunwale. But nevertheless, we'll reach our motorboat in safety, I feel sure. Oh, will we? Getting a little choppy there for that little dinghy. Yes, we've reached our motor launch, and soon all our equipment is packed away. And we're off. It's farewell and bon voyage as we leave Urangan and its wonderful seaside fishing resort behind. Here we're towing our own barge and, of course, our famous jalopy. The boys built this jalopy themselves for the particular job of taking them through Fraser Island sand. But the seas are starting to rise, and there we pass en route to our island of paradise, Woody Island. Situated on the top, the highest peak of Woody Island is a lighthouse. This is serviced 24 hours a day with its own flashing beacon, giving a warning to all mariners who approach the main channel for Maryborough and its home port. There, in the background, is our destination of Fraser Island. With all our bunting gaily flying, we arrive on our island at a place called Begumba. Now here is where we unload our vehicle and leave one of our team to drive it 20 miles to our safe acreage, one of very, very few. Here you see us steaming in very closely to the inland, and here, just quietly, the water is very, very deep. Poyangan Creek is our safe acreage, and there you can see on the bank our old jalopy has arrived, good old faithful jalopy. In this tranquil, quiet setting, these waters abound with millions of teeming fish. Plenty for the taking with a fishing line or net, just an angler's paradise. Ta-da, motorboat, we'll see you later, and we row towards the bank. And here we'll originally put our feet on Fraser Island for the first stage of our 1 week on this magnificent island of paradise. Lift it and fetch it up onto the bank above high water level. It doesn't take long to unload our dinghy, but oh, the sandflies. Sandflies are bad today. But we're loaded into our old jalopy, and we start the drive across the island, which is 15 miles wide and 100 miles long. Through these giant forests, sunlight trickles through only in little places. Looks like being in the dark. And here's a magnificent giant of this wonderful forest. This is a tallowood tree. Forest timber workers from the forest department are cutting this one down, and very soon we'll see it crash. Timber! Oh, there's 2 homes in this one. Yes, 2 homes in this giant of the forest. Here it is loaded up on the trailer, just 1 tree being taken away to the mill. Perhaps your home may be built with timber from the forest of Fraser Island. and so we drive on again to find the blue Pacific Ocean. And here's our first glimpse, as the old jalopy rolls down onto the silver sands. A beautiful scene is in front of us. Just a minute, one of the party's missing. I wonder what he got out for. There's plenty of trees a little bit further up. Ah, well, that's that. And away we go. We're heading now towards our old bark hut. This hut, incidentally, was made on flotsam and jetsam found here on the beaches. Now watch the tires spin as we go over the loose sand. Oh, the old jalopy never lets us down. At leastways, not very often. Here is the bark hut. We've landed, we've had our breakfast, and now we must refuel. This is what we call the old Yidney bus service. As soon as we have plenty of fuel aboard, we'll take the old jalopy and start cruising along the 100-mile of beach, skirted by this magnificent blue Pacific Ocean. Snow. Snow on the mountaintops in Queensland. Unbelievable. Yes, it's unbelievable. That is not snow. It is magnificent white, pure white sand. What a glorious setting for this, our island of paradise. Nature, in her wonderful element, has created scenes of magnificent beauty that we find, even for the human eye, very difficult to absorb. Colors matching the rainbow in all its splendor just simply cannot, and nor can words, bring you the description of Fraser Island and its beauty. Colored sands. These ranges are up to 130 feet high, towering above the magnificent firm white sand where the Pacific Ocean pounds across day after day and night after night in incessant crashing of thunder as the surf breaks and rolls across its beach. From valley to mountain top, all across the green sweeping meadows, into the forest or down to the beach, beauty lies everywhere around us on this, our island of paradise. However, caution is necessary in sections. On terrain such as you see here, death adders come out to bask in the sun, and care must always be taken. But that is only on a section of the island. There is plenty more of wonderful scenic views for us to show you. Here we come to the Colosseum. This is King Neptune's chair, and just above it, to the right, is Her Royal Majesty's throne. Imagination can indeed run riot on Fraser Island, with so much beauty and so many glorious carvings which have been actually created by nature, with the cyclonic winds and the tempest which rages from the Pacific Ocean. We have here a scene so magnificent, so majestic, so royal, that it is indeed thrilling to witness. Above this hill is a bent tree, just like an eagle ready to depart. And so across the canyons we go until finally we arrive back home. a discussion is always necessary with so many things to do and so many places to go. Here, we decide what our next move will be. Even at our old bark hut, which, as I've told you previously, we built from flotsam and jetsam, which has actually been swept up onto the shore, we decide that it's time to eat and to wash up. Here is the most purest, softest drinking water that your palate could possibly wish for. It is strained and filtered by millions and billions of clean white sand and gives us the most perfect water. Look for yourself. Lovely. Ha-ha! And so we've decided for a trip inland. Here, with the giants of the forest towering hundreds and hundreds of feet above our heads, we go through one of the many forest paths which have been worn down by the forest workers who come in to check on the bunya pines and also on the Carey pine. Here is some of the Carey pine. Let's have a look at this magnificent Carey pine. There we go. Up, up, up into the wide blue sky rises this beautiful giant. Carey pine is used in the building of hospitals, ships, in toys for the kiddies, and in your home. Now we're going up a very steep rise of 1 in 3. Incidentally, this is all sand. And here you can see the trees leaning back from the sea, pounded by unlimited winds of high velocity, have caused these trees to lean towards the mainland. But passing through here, we come to a tranquil, serene setting of beauty. Here is still more color, so devastatingly beauty. Perhaps that is the only word I can use to explain the scene which now unfolds before our very eyes. This sand, this lovely white sand, is caused by what is known as sand blows. That originally starts with a fire in the forest, and the sudden uplift of heat causes this sand to rise in billowing clouds, and it encroaches and covers everything in its path. Here, Wabi Creek, or pardon me, it is a creek no longer. It has since been cut off from the water and now is known as Wabi Lake. And you can see the sand is encroaching across this water. It has actually cut it in several places and is known to creep into this water at the rate of up to 2 feet in every 2 years. Perhaps in 10 to 20 years, Wabi Lake will exist no longer. These lakes are all fresh water. And fresh water, of course, has its fish supply too. The island itself teems with game, ducks by the thousands, and wildlife. Here is a beautiful scene, water lilies on the approach to yet another lake. The lovely, delicate coloring and the fragrance from this particular inlet really brings beauty. But of course, every story tells a tale. Yes, we were bogged, but we're out again and off once more. Hundreds of square acres are covered by magnificent flowering trees. And so we arrive at yet another lake. This one is Lake Mackenzie. Lake Mackenzie has, or is known to have, a depth of up to 100 fathoms, one of the deepest sections ever known for any freshwater lake. Unfortunately, it is impossible to get craft onto the water here, owing to the terrain which we must pass through. But wouldn't it make a magnificent holiday resort for skiing and speedboat racing? Perhaps someday the government will make this the central eastern Queensland's coast holiday resort. But for us, it's virgin ground, and the old jalopy rolls on once more. As we go down this hill, there is absolutely nothing that will stop our old jalopy. I want you to watch rather carefully now. Over she goes, and another tree clears our path. Oh boy, what this old jalopy will go through. Those tires are from old bomber aircraft used during the war. Here is a dingo, one of many, many thousands that roam this island. We shot it just as we approached the beach. Good huntsman, good dingo. And now we're off to another spot upon the island. But oh boy, how about this for Sunday driving? Some of the holes which the old jalopy goes through are so deep that we must use the headlights to find our way out. But she still rolls on. Here is the aquarium, covered by high tide. Fish are left trapped in this pool. And of course, we're going to do a little bit of shooting and see if we can't stun some. Yes, we got quite a lot of fish out of this, but oh, I say, I think he's in the nutty. We'd better get out of here. And the blue Pacific Ocean pounds on in all its mightiness. This is the only section on the whole of Fraser Island where rock may be found. And of course, it is a well-known spot. Captain Cook, many hundreds of years ago, named this Indian Head. Now, if you watch carefully at the top of this terrific towering rock, you'll see, for a split second, one of the many brumbies which range across this island. Very shy, and very seldom can photos ever be taken of these very shy and gallant noble horses. Walking through these rocks, we find many types of crustacean and sea life, including some of the most loveliest shells. But unfortunately, owing to the might of the Pacific Ocean, these shells are nearly always broken. So we've had a wonderful day, and we head back home. Where else in the world could you see such beauty as exists here on our island of paradise, so aptly named because really it is our own Havana. Here lies the wreck of one of the most noble ships of its time. This vessel was in tow from Sydney when a cyclone suddenly struck without warning. It's a Japanese vessel of some 10,000 tons, and now lies wrecked. It is known as the Mahino. Here, after 24 years of pounding by the sea, it is now buried to a height of 30 feet. An interesting sight, and full of mystery. I wonder if we can get aboard. Let's try and find out. Well, we're much closer now, but we still can't get aboard. The tide is in, and deep, fast-flowing channels stop us from being able to get aboard the Mahino. So we'll just content ourselves with taking a few more shots and wait for the tide to go out. The tide rises and goes out at a very fast rate here. It is a rise of up to 10 feet. In some cases on king tides, records of up to 17 feet have been known. The Mahino, during the war, was used as a target ship for the RAAF and the American Air Force. Well, now we managed to get aboard, and I can see the Pacific Ocean is really pounding in. There's no doubt about it. And watch carefully on the board this lovely ship, this wreck, this relic, and yet it still has so many wonderful knowledges about it for us to find out. We find the sea still break across a hull. Time of 24 years. Shows here the winching gear covered in rust and long since frozen, unusable, all caused by the powerful might of the Pacific Ocean and the salt sea spray pounding across her decks. Here, the Mahino lies in death, and yet surrounded with panoramic beauty. Fishing from the bow of this ship is wonderful. Snapper, mowong, jew, brim, flathead, mackerel, and even turtles. Oh, I say, what are you doing up here, Mother Turtle? Been laying more eggs in the lovely warm sun, but where's your flapper gone? Oh, you can see him. Hey, Bill! Wait on, Bill! I'm coming! Oh, work out, here I come now! And so Mother Turtle swims away in a gigantic flurry into the wide, deep sea of the Pacific Ocean to meet her friends. Turtles are found in large numbers on Fraser Island, where they come to lay their eggs to hatch in the lovely warm sun. Here is the most important phase of our tour anyway. We're looking for the golden bait which catches the biggest fish. You agree? And here is that wonderful shellfish, Ugri itself. They are found in many, many thousands on this beach. And look, a lovely deep gutter, spotted from the hill. So away we go to see if there's any fish. How are they biting? Ah, there they are, golden trevally, some 17 pound of it. And brother, can you smell it cooking? Here, the golden sands rising to a height of 117 feet. What a glorious pinnacle of beauty, surrounded by crags and crevices which the Grand Canyon of America could not compare with. Perhaps Fraser Island might be a little bit more seclusive, but brother, when it comes to color, it really surpasses everything that could be possibly witnessed with the naked eye. Here is a pandana palm, or what is commonly known by the Aboriginals in the early day as breadfruit. It was a very good diet of theirs in those days, but that was when the Aboriginals used to come across to Fraser Island in just absolutely thousands. Fraser Island was connected to the mainland, and during an upheaval and a cyclonic storm, 3 miles of Fraser Island disappeared and is now so deep that it is the main shipping channel. Hello. I say, Frank, what have you got in the black bag? I saw you sneaking away there on your own. Won't you tell me what you've got in your black bag? Hey, Frank, I'm interested to know what's there. Aren't you going to tell me? Hello, we've got another spectator, too. Oh, come on, show us. What is it? What's that? A coin or a sausage? But never mind. Show us what you've got in that black bag. I'm so terribly interested. He won't show us. Well, we'll find out ourselves. So early the next morning, we'll sneak out and have a look. Now, careful. Quiet. Make sure there's no one looking. All clear? You sure? Have another look. Right. Quick. What is it? Have a look. Anything there? Empty. I don't believe it. Ah, well, we'll ask Frank again. Frank, look, we're not going to stand this anymore. What is it? Tell me. I want to know, and so does everyone else. What's in the black bag? Perhaps might be bully beef. You better feel it and find out. No, not bully beef. Well, it certainly wouldn't be a Death Adder. Come on, Frank, please, what is it? Bottle of whiskey? No. No, it's a camera bag, used to keep the sand out of the lenses of our colour cameras so that we may take pictures in colour so that you can enjoy. Here, the old jalopy ploughs through 14 inches of loose sand. No ordinary vehicle could possibly traverse through loose sand like this. And away we go once more to find the evening sun setting as we arrive home in a most magnificent, splendidful, colourful, beautiful setting. We hope you've enjoyed our trip to Fraser Island. And so as night comes again, we say good night until later, when perhaps again we will bring you more excursions on the island of paradise, Fraser Island.